The Royal Rumble match is easily my favourite pay-per-view or premium live event of WWE's calendar year. There's rumours, there's backstabbing, there's clashing storylines, finished or otherwise, and from breaking news, this time next year we're going to be able to Netflix and Rumble. At time of recording, this is Friday before SmackDown, so I don't know if any matches are going to be put on the card between now and tomorrow. So far there's only 4 matches on this card, which I kind of like because it gives more time to the actual Rumble matches. I'm going to give you my predictions. I'm also going to give you my thoughts on who the final 4 are going to be in each of the men's and the women's Rumbles. And we're also going to hear from some WWE friends of the channel. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 10 names. 3 of them are female, 7 of them are men. They're my favourites for the show, and I'll also give you my predictions as well. At number 10, we are going to go with the women and Jade Cargill. Now, I think Jade Cargill could be a surprise entrance into the Royal Rumble. I think that they spent a lot of money on her very recently, and they've put a lot of development into her, and I think that this is a good way to showcase what she's got and, you know, show her off. Like, here's our shiny new toy, and it's obviously going to get AEW proud fans are going to get annoyed and things like that. So I just think it makes good marketing sense to have Jade Cargill at least appear in the Rumble. I don't think she's going to win it though. Okay, so number 9, I'm going to stick with the ladies. I have Bayley. I think recently the storyline with Damage Control and Bayley, it looked like they were going to kick her out, and I don't know if that was the way they were going with the storyline, but I personally feel that Bayley could go strong in the Royal Rumble. Lastly, for the women's section that I want to talk about is Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch cut a promo with Rhea Ripley in the ring, and oh my god, I got The Rock's goosebumps right there. That is the match I want to see. I don't know if I want to see it at Elimination Chamber in Australia or if I want to see it at Mania, but I definitely want to see that match. So continuing down my 10 favourite for the Royal Rumbles, we're going to go down to the men now. And in 7th place we've got LA Knight. I think LA Knight has been pushed tremendously in 2023 and has been given the ball and he's run with it. He really has. Yeah! I just really like the guy. I think he's really good. He is a visual representation of the Attitude Era, in my opinion, and I just think it fits really well in today's wrestling bubble. Next up is number 6, we have Randy Orton. Of course, I don't know if these people are going to be able to win the Royal Rumble because they are actually in the Fatal 4-Way match with Roman Reigns. So I don't know if that's going to be placed earlier in the match or not. But yeah, Randy Orton could also go ahead and win it and go ahead and challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Number 5, we have Gunther. Now, Gunther is a standout performer in the WWE. I think he's probably the strongest champion that they currently have on that roster. Regardless of Roman Reigns and how long he's held it, he doesn't wrestle enough for me to have that moniker of the, you know, that you could put the company on his back and he would be fine. I just love Gunther to pieces, and last year's Royal Rumble he was the Iron Man. He lasted from pretty much 1 to 29, didn't he? This year he could have a real chance of winning it. Drew McIntyre from Ayr, Scotland. You know, I'm from Ayr. I've got that connection with him. I wasn't born here, but I live here, so, you know, people know his name and get associated with that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Drew McIntyre has a murky future ahead of him, I believe, for WWE. I don't know what's going to happen with him and where he's going to go, but it definitely is interesting. And look, the guy's got that Claymore. Anyone with that kind of brute power can knock anybody over the top rope, in my opinion, so Drew's got just as good of a chance. Final 3. These, remember, are just my 10 favourite people in the Rumble. They're not my predictions. We will get onto that very shortly. Is The Rock. Of course The Rock was going to be in this list. He just made a return, and, you know, I don't know where we're going to go with it, because he kind of stepped in, jumped in, you might say, used his authority and his name and his power to jump in. I disagree when celebrities do this, kind of, because, like, the boys that work day in, day out, 52 weeks a year, those guys deserve the WrestleMania spots, not the guy that is already making a crap ton of money from being the most paid celebrity and all this. I love The Rock, don't get me wrong, I think he's fantastic and he really is, but just like, come on, you don't need to take the the main event, you know? And that's another story for another video. But The Rock has a chance of winning it because he's back. 2, we have Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, the infamous story. Will he finish the story? Will he not finish the story? Is the Royal Rumble the road to him finishing it? Is that going to open any doors? Unfortunately, I don't think so. I don't think Cody's going to win it, but, you know, he's going to be there, isn't he? He's literally the new babyface, he's the new face that runs the place, the new John Cena, you could say. So he's definitely going to have good contentions to win the Royal Rumble. Number 1, CM Punk, of course. He's back. Awe-inspiring. Controversial guy, probably the most controversial wrestler in my lifetime. Well, unless Hulk Hogan shows up, but that's another one. Yeah, back to CM Punk. I just think that he has the best chance to possibly win it. That isn't my prediction, but I do think that he could possibly win it. And with the Seth Rollins stuff going on, with the injury, we don't know if he's going to be okay or not. Yeah, it could be CM Punk that wins the Royal Rumble. Okay, so as I mentioned, there is only 4 matches on this card, so let's break down the 2 non-Rumble matches. So the first match that I'm going to predict that they're going to be giving us on the Royal Rumble pay-per-view is the Fatal 4-Way with AJ Styles, LA Knight, Roman Reigns and Randy Orton. This match is just a placeholder for me. I feel like no matter what we do, Roman Reigns isn't going to lose this title until WrestleMania. Now that The Rock has got involved, and although I wouldn't like it to be this year, ideally I would like The Rock to come out at the Royal Rumble number 30, win it, tell Roman Reigns, I'm coming for you, you know? I don't know. This match is a tough one. We have Roman Reigns winning, obviously that's my prediction. Roman Reigns is going to get out of here. I can see a scenario where each of the guys in the ring, AJ Styles hits the Styles Clash on LA Knight takes the RKO from Randy Orton. You know, he takes a load of finishes and then Roman Reigns slides in, spear 1, 2, 3. I think that's what you're going to have to do with Roman Reigns to keep him powerful going in against The Rock. So yeah, my prediction for the 4-way is Roman Reigns retains. The next match is Logan Paul, the United States Champion, versus Kevin Owens. Now, Logan Paul hasn't defended his title once in his entire run. He won it and hasn't defended it. Now, I don't like that about any champion in WWE, but Logan Paul, I kind of like take it with a pinch of salt, because I just think he's a brilliant guy. You know, I'm a YouTuber, he's a YouTuber. If he can do it, what's to say I can't do it? On that, Logan Paul is keeping a hold of the title and he's taking it with him to WrestleMania. I think that is where Logan will drop the belt at WrestleMania. I don't think WWE want to not have all those clicks and all those views that come along with having Logan Paul on your main event card, you know what I mean? So yeah, my prediction for that match is going to be a heavy, hard-hitting match with some high spots, maybe some shenanigans. Logan Paul eventually wins though. I think that Logan Paul beats Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is going to be the fantastic Kevin Owens that Kevin Owens is. He's just going to get the crowd to be insanely loud. He's going to make everybody pop. You know, I'd like to see the pop-up powerbomb through a table, maybe. That'd be nice. But yeah, ultimately Logan Paul wins and retains. But before I give you my predictions for what I truly think is going to happen in this pay-per-view, let's hear from some of my WWE friends of the channel.
Hi, this is Randy with Mystery Madness Collectibles here, predicting the Royal Rumble for 2024. Ryan wanted to do this, so he asked me, so I didn't have a problem with that. But let's see. In the guys, I believe CM Punk is going to win it. I just think he's going to win it. I guess we'll see. Now, in the women's, I'm thinking that Bayley is going to win it. I mean, that's just who I think is going to win it. Go check Ryan out. Be dropping the video Friday and see whose predictions is correct.
It's nearly time for the royaliest of rumbles. Let's talk about it. And I'd just like to thank Milky for inviting me to be part of this video. The royaliest of Rumbles is very soon, yes. We're all excited. It's my favourite WWE pay-per-view. But the big question is, who do I think is going to win the men's and women's Rumble? Who do I think is going to be in the final four? Well, the whole thing about this is that SmackDown, really, other than the main event, with anything to do with Roman, it is missing, like, big main event stars. So I don't think you're really going to see any SmackDown people as the last four. So we'll start with the men's Rumble, and my final four, we've got CM Punk, Cody, Gunther, and Drew McIntyre, although I'm a bit kind of, ooh, maybe Drew, but I think they'd make more sense potentially. Other potential final fours, or people in the final four, you could get R-Truth. He has been so good. I mean, he's always been fantastic, but like recently his whole stuff with the Judgment Day is brilliant. I think if he accidentally eliminates one of Judgment Day from the Rumble, chef's kiss, but he could be in the final four. Also, a couple of NXT potentials as well. Bron Breakker could be. Carmella Hayes, you know, big opportunities for those two to shine. Why not? And then last, we got Lashley. He doesn't feel as main eventy as, you know, as he used to, but there's always a chance. I really hope it's not Lesnar in the final four. He might be involved somewhere. Don't know. However, the women's Rumble. This one's a bit more tricky. So for the women's final four, I have Liv Morgan making a return, surprise return, although we know she is cleared to return. Could be in a final four. Then we've got two obvious ones, Becky Lynch and Bayley. And then a bit of a wild card, I suppose. I've got Raquel Rodriguez. And I think they're trying to do stuff with Raquel. I think they've been trying for ages, and for whatever reason, it never really goes anywhere other than tag titles. But this could be her year. We don't know. She's not going to win it, but Final Four seems, you know. But I think this could be the Rumble where we do have the big surprises. AJ Lee. Ooh, that would be the big surprise. If she is in the Rumble, I can see her being in the Final Four as well. Obviously, there's also a lot of talk about Mercedes Moné falling on the Sasha Banks, but she will be Sasha Banks once she goes back to WWE if she goes back. But at this point, it seems like she's more likely to go to AEW. We don't know. However, if she returns at the Rumble, she'll probably be in the Final Four as well. You also could see Nia Jax in there as well, so we don't know. However, the winners, as much as we all want Cody to win the men's one, I think CM Punk is getting this. But I think it'll come down to Punk and Rhodes, with Punk winning, potentially through shenanigans. As for the winner of the women's one, again, this is difficult, but I think there's a chance it might be, or my prediction, there's a chance it could be Bayley. Damage Control are almost on the same page, but it just seems like Bayley's been the odd one out. So having Bayley, I said, like as a gradual face turn, going against Io at WrestleMania, that could be a brilliant match. Yeah. Also, Trish Stratus could be in it as well. She could be in the Final Four. But I think, in terms of winners, I think we've got Punk and we've got Bayley. And if not Bayley, then Becky, but I think Becky's a bit too predictable. So I'm going to go Punk for the men's, Bayley for the women's. And thank you to Ryan for asking me to do this. I'm looking forward to seeing what everyone else's predictions and thoughts are. I've been Sean from Scarborough Couple, and Joe and Sean React, and my own Specs TV channel as well. See you later.
What's going on, guys? Ryan Milky wanted me to pick a little wrestling. So here it is. Your top 4 finishers. WWE Men's Royal Rumble. Gunther. Drew McIntyre. CM Punk. Cody Rhodes. With the winner being Gunther. Now for the women's, this is a little bit harder. I'm going with top 4, Naomi to make a return and be there. I'm going with Bayley. I'm going with Nia Jax. And I'm going with the man, Becky Lynch. The winner of the Women's Royal Rumble is going to be Becky Lynch. There it is. That's my picks. I don't know if we're right. We'll see.
All right, everybody, welcome. Papa Missouri here. Guys, my buddy, my brother from another mother and a father in a country. Weird. But guys, Ryan Milky asked me to make this video for you. Royal Rumble 2024. What are my picks? I don't watch much wrestling, but when I do enjoy it. So guys, my picks. Women's. I'm going to go out on a limb here on both of these. Trust me. Nia Jax. Why? I like Jack's pizzas. Not spelled the same, but I think you know where I'm going with this. And my pick for the men's Royal Rumble 2024 match. I'm going to have to go with my boy, Kofi Kingston. Why? Because I like coffee that's close to Kofi, and Kingston because it's in Jamaica, and he does backflips, and I wish I could do backflips. So I am sure that I am the farthest from being correct on these two, but this was fun.
The Women's Royal Rumble to me this year is properly stacked. Now, by design, I haven't watched much of NXT for the last 12 months. We'll come on to that in another video. But yeah, this year's women's roster, if you take it from main event, you take it from NXT, you take them from SmackDown, and you take them from Raw, I don't think that you should be seeing many legends return, like the Litas and the Trish Stratuses and all that kind of people. I don't think that they're needed this year. I think that the women's roster is definitely strong enough, and with Triple H in charge, he's had a lot of say of the upbringing of all of these characters and these wrestlers going forward from NXT into the main roster. So yeah, I'm super excited for the women's wrestling. Could it be Becky? Could it be Bayley? Could it be Bianca? Could it be Nia Jax? Surely not, right? Nia Jax isn't going to win it. I really hope so. I hope that she doesn't win it. Like, please, WWE, don't ruin what you've got going here. Like, Nia Jax just isn't the one for me, unfortunately. But yeah, I just don't know. Shock returns. Let's talk about shock returns within the women's. Naomi was in TNA. He definitely said goodbye to the fans in the ring at Hard to Kill. So I'm going to go out on a bat and go probably 9 times out of 10 chance that Naomi will return to the Women's Royal Rumble match. You've also got maybe Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss has recently had a baby. With the timescales of how it all works, I don't think she'll be here, but you know, her name is definitely on there. And then there's one that I keep going around Twitter. I keep seeing a name on Twitter popping up. AJ Lee. What do you think about AJ Lee coming back? Obviously, CM Punk has just returned to WWE. She's married to CM Punk. Could there be a connection there? I know that there was a video put up on Instagram of her training recently, and it had some wrestling in it. So, who knows? Final 4 prediction for the Women's Royal Rumble is Becky, Bayley, Nia Jax, and Bianca. And my winner is Bayley. I believe that Bayley is going to win the Women's Royal Rumble, and she is going to go to WrestleMania, challenge Io Sky. And now we're talking about the men's Royal Rumble match. Now this Royal Rumble match for me is the most anticipated match of the entire year. I said it in the intro, it's my favourite pay-per-view, but this men's match this year, anybody could win it, guys. I just don't have a foggy clue. I'm obviously going to give you my prediction, but it could be wrong, it could be right, it could be any of the 4 gentlemen that I'm going to give you in my final 4. But this year's match, could it be Cody? Could it be Gunther? Could it be Punk? Could it be Drew? Could it be a returning person? I haven't got an absolute clue, and that's the why I love the Royal Rumble so much, because usually, especially under the Vince McMahon regime, WWE was very predictable, and you could kind of tell you who was going to win a match before you even watched the match. So, with Triple H in charge, and this year, I haven't got a clue. Last year's was a certainty that Cody Rhodes was going to win it. We all knew that Cody Rhodes was going to win last year. This year, I'm not so certain, and I don't think anybody else is as so certain. Okay, so my final 4 for the men's Royal Rumble. I've gone with Cody, Gunther, CM Punk, and Drew McIntyre. And my winner for the men's Royal Rumble, I'm going to go out on a leg here, guys. I'm going to go with Gunther. Gunther came so close last year, was such a dominant showing. Stick with me, because I think Gunther is going to win this, because this sets his WrestleMania up perfectly for me. Now what I want to happen is, we just saw on Raw the confrontation between Gunther and Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins is obviously injured, and we hope and pray that he comes back for WrestleMania, because that guy just has so much bad luck when it comes to holding a belt and getting to WrestleMania. But unfortunately I don't think he's going to recover in time. In the meantime, but Gunther's going to come out and be all like, I'm the champion, I've been the champion for so many days, I intimidated Seth away by just talking to him in the ring. And then you hear Brock Lesnar's music hit, because what I want is Brock Lesnar versus Gunther at WrestleMania. I think that that is the best match for those two characters, because I'm sure Brock Lesnar's going to return. I just don't think he's going to return at the Royal Rumble. But yeah, that's how I see the road to WrestleMania happening. For the men's side, Gunther wins, and I hope he takes on Brock Lesnar. Okay guys, so what did you think of the predictions? Let me know. Make sure you comment down below who you agree with. Was it me, Randy, Poppin, the Luau, or Sean? Who do you agree with? Who do you think's going to win the men's and the women's Royal Rumble? And if you want to also predict Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens and the Fatal 4-Way, please feel free to down in the comments below. Guys, I hope you enjoy the Royal Rumble. We will probably do an update video on this on the channel, so stay tuned for that. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed this, subscribe if you haven't already, and stay milky.